Ladies and gentlemen, this is a very important podcast today. Horror is so close to being done, to being finished.
Wow. All right.
And I've recently learned that there is only one person who can really save the genre.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And that's Nick Cage.
That's right. Hello and welcome to the Pick Your Brain podcast from the minds of TLEV. I'm Thomas.
And I'm Mr. E.
And we have a very special episode of the Pick Your Brain podcast.
Yes.
As we had promised for all of you, this episode is dedicated to one man and one man only, and that is the glorious man that is Nicolas Cage.
Nicolas Cage. Yes, this is a podcast that I've been wanting to do for a while, but the reason we didn't do it is because, well, we needed to look more into Nick Cage.
We need to embody.
We needed to see, and we needed a defense for why Nick Cage will be saving horror. And you will get that full defense throughout this entire video.
Yeah.
But of course, this video is going to need a background. This video is going to need a lot more than just going, here is the reason, okay?
What, Mystery, what about your shirt? Can you like show off your shirt
I don't know if you
a
guys
little
can
bit in
see
the shot?
But it's a Nick Cage shirt.
Yeah.
As you can see, it's kind of like one of those band T-shirts, but it's all Nicolas Cage.
Because
I saw it. I needed to get it before a certain movie that we saw that we will be talking about today.
That's right.
So this will be a mix about Nicolas Cage himself. Mm-hmm. This will also be a mix of two movies that we recently saw.
Recently seen, yes.
And a future movie that Nick Cage will be in.
Yes.
So, before we get started, we need to go back.
Mister, I think we need to talk about your love of Nick Cage, too.
That's what I meant. We need to go back.
Let's go back, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Where everybody finds Nick Cage at some point.
Yes.
Or
he finds you.
Or he finds you, but you don't know how he finds you. He just finds you somehow.
He just finds you sometimes. It's Nick Cage.
But we've all came across him in some sort of movie. And I don't know, should I start how I came across Nick Cage?
Absolutely.
Or should you start?
Well, I mean, it's the exact same story.
Is it really?
It is the exact same story.
Okay. Well, let's go back to my 10th birthday.
I thought it was your 9th.
9th birthday, probably. It was a big birthday for me.
Yes.
I was turning 9, I guess. I thought I was turning 10.
Well, if you remember as 10, then hey, who am I?
9 or 10,
your
but this was a really good year for me. This was a year where I got a really awesome present.
Yeah.
And that present was the PlayStation Portable, the PSP. The PSP was so awesome.
How in depth do you want to go in this? Because we could pull it up. The PSP is right there.
Oh, you actually have it?
The PSP is right over there. It's over there. Yeah. Oops.
You serious?
Keep talking. I'll find it.
I mean, it might not be the actual PSP, because if it's the actual PSP, I don't know why you never showed me, because I literally thought I lost it. But the PSP, so if you guys don't know what the PSP was, PlayStation released a really, really awesome console. It wasn't a console. It was a portable console, kind of like the Nintendo. Okay, well, this isn't This is a PS Vita. And I'll explain the PS Vita a little bit too. This is the PS Vita right here that Thomas just found. But the PSP was literally its own portable console. It was PlayStation's version of the DS that came with these small little discs that are inside my house that I don't have here. There's these little discs that came with it, and you could play video games, watch movies, and all that stuff. Then they released the PS Vita, which you couldn't put games in. It was actually, you connected it to your PlayStation. I think this came out when the PlayStation 3 was out.
I think so too.
You would connect this to your PlayStation 3. And when you would like go on a trip or something like that, you would have to leave your console running, but you could play it through this. Not as cool as the PSP. The PSP was so awesome. There was games that I actually got to play that wasn't really allowed to at first, and I was able to play on there. I remember I played an NBA game on there. I had Force Awakens. on there. Not Force Awakens. What am I saying?
Battlefront.
Yes, I had Battlefront on there, and then I had that game, Force Unleashed.
Oh,
Force Unleashed.
God. What a game. What a game.
What an awesome game. But it's not about the games right now. It's actually about
How
what
could you forget?
Yes,
Birth
I know.
Kingdom Hearts Birth by Sleep.
But I didn't play that one.
Well, I did.
Okay, well, you had it on the PSP, I guess.
I played it on your PSP.
We shared it.
Yes, we did.
But anyways, so I received a PSP on my 9th or 10th birthday.
Mm-hmm.
And what came with this came two really great discs. One I can't remember, even though I just said it was.
It was
great.
Ratchet and Clank.
Ratchet and Clank. There we go.
Mm-hmm.
PlayStation's own version of what's his name? Crash Bandicoot.
Well, Crash
that's
Bandicoot
another
is
PlayStation.
PlayStation.
Okay, they just like
Ratchet and Clank was Ratchet and Clank.
Ratchet and Clank was Ratchet
right.
and Clank. But then there was something else. There was actually a movie that came with it.
Really?
And that movie was National Treasure's Book of Secrets. This was the second National Treasures movie, featuring the one and only, or the infamous, Nick Cage. He was the main character.
Yes, he is.
And, at first I got the movie and I was just like, okay. And I watched it, of course, it's free stuff that came with the console.
It was literally a movie.
It was literally a movie that came with it. And by God, I was in trance. I fell in love right then and there.
First love.
If you guys don't know what National Treasures 2 Book of Secrets is about,
pause the podcast right now.
and go watch it. It's on Disney Plus.
It's on Disney Plus.
Yeah. You can watch the first one, but the second one is way better. To me. What basically happens is Nick Cage's great-great-grandfather has been accused of letting John Wilkes Booth kill Abe Lincoln.
Wow.
He was part of the assassinations of Abe Lincoln. And so, of course, Nick Cage has to prove that wrong for the name of his family.
Can I be real for a second? I'm really impressed that you remember all this.
Well, because I've seen the movie more than once.
You were 9 or 10.
Do you think that was the last time I watched the movie?
No, was 12 or 13 years ago.
10 years ago, 11 years ago?
I'm
I watched the movie probably 2 months ago also. All right. It's such a good movie. I don't joke about saying this is a great movie, all right? So he needs to reconcile the name of his family for his dad's sake, for everybody's sake. And so he's doing that. And it's kind of like the race against the clock. And what they need to do is find basically proof. I forget they go everywhere in this. They have to go to Buckingham Palace to go into their.
Can I talk about one scene that I remember vividly?
Well, we'll talk about scenes afterwards. Okay. But all in all, it's a big treasure hunt. Of course, what they find out at the end is the big Mayan treasure that is hidden inside of the oh my God, what is it called? Mount Rushmore. And there's bad guys chasing it too.
El Dorado. They find El Dorado.
No, that's
not El Dorado.
Is it El Dorado?
Lost City of Gold.
Lost City of Gold. It's called El Dorado, huh? Mm-hmm. Yeah. So they find the Lost City of Gold. So I guess it's a little mixed with some facts too, of course. So
of course it is.
And there's so many things that he has to do in this. And Thomas, go ahead and describe your favorite scene before I do.
The scene that I remember more than anything is they were. On top of Mount Rushmore.
Hey, stop laughing.
Sorry, Nick Cage. They were on top of Mount Rushmore.
Yeah.
They all had water bottles.
Yes.
And with their water bottles, they were going to wet Mount Rushmore. I can do this.
Not all of Mount Rushmore.
Not all. No, just this one section of Mount Rushmore. Because they needed to find the symbol. And the symbol was an eagle.
Yeah. Because there's a scripture they read off of the wood that they have that says the eagle and the eagle shall show up in water or in rain or something like that. Yes. And they're like, well, it's the middle of the day in the summer. How are we going to get rain?
Yes. you must place your hand in the eagle's heart. So Nick Cage puts his hand in. It's really tense music, and he goes, and then everybody freaks out, but he's fine. He's totally fine.
Yeah.
And it's like, yeah.
And you're forgetting how he has to kidnap the president of the United States.
No.
Yes, Nick Cage has to kidnap the president of the United States because he needs to ask the president if there is the Book of Secrets, the president's Book of Secrets. And there is, and it's hidden in the Washington library. And they find it, and there's so many writings in there, and I forget all the writings, but there's so much.
Isn't it like all the different presidents have written in it?
Yeah, like
So
they
there's,
all
George
wrote like
Washington,
little
John
secrets
Adams,
and stuff
Thomas
like
Jefferson.
that. Yeah, the secrets of the presidents. There is a secret book. And so, it's such a phenomenal movie. If you've never seen it, you got to watch it.
Absolutely.
I do wish that it came as a trilogy. We only got 2 movies. We got stolen a third. Especially these movies made a lot of money.
Isn't there a car chase?
There is a car chase, yes, in England.
I don't remember the other guy's name. Where he's like, I'll drive, and he gets on the
on the left side, and it's on the right side.
But because they're in England, they're in
It's on the
London.
right
It's on the right side, the wheel, and so Nick just drives. Sorry,
And
Mr. Cage. Just
Nicolas
drives
Cage
to the chase.
drives, and he gets them out of there by doing a great move because they find this wooden piece that is hidden inside the British version of the resolution desk or the Resolute desk.
That's
because
right.
because as you learn in the movie, and this is factual too, the Resolute desk, there are twins. There are twin sister Resolute desks made from a British ship that this is true.
I'm remembering everything. Isn't there a scene with his ex when they're in the Buckingham Palace where
it's on Easter. It's the Easter egg hunt. Yeah,
whole show
because they have to get into the Oval Office somehow, and she's of course dating someone who works one of the security guards of the White House, and so he takes them to the Oval Office. She pretends to lose her earring. And when they're looking for it, Nick Cage is doing some. It's basically something box. What are they called?
Da Vinci Code box.
No. It's like escape box or whatever. Like people love to play with them now. They're like they come in all different boxes.
Which is a puzzle box.
A puzzle box. There we go. So basically, the Resolute desk is a puzzle box. Mm-hmm. And so so there's 2 Resolute desks, and you learn that from the movie. It's a factual movie. I mean, there's facts in it, and it's a historical movie. It's phenomenal.
It is.
I think one of the greatest things about this movie is the beginning of the movie, where it shows the Disney castle,
right,
and then it cuts out, and then it shows it's another production company. It shows the tree getting struck by lightning.
Yes,
I forget what that company's name.
Bruckheimer.
But then it fades into the movie with a tree. And it's the soldiers coming back from the Civil War. It's perfect. But let's stop talking about that. And let's talk about how basically, that movie was our childhood, or at least my childhood.
It was your childhood.
Another movie that was our childhood was also Sorcerer's Apprentice. I don't know if you remember that movie. Sorcerer's Apprentice with Nick Cage also. If that just threw Thomas back and threw you guys back, I don't know. If you guys had the same childhood as us.
Oh, that movie was actually good.
That was a fun movie.
That was actually a good movie.
It was good when we were young. I remember. I forget the other guy's name. The other actor.
Jay is
Jay something.
I know his first name is Jay because we've seen This Is the End so many times.
Yeah. Jay. Oh, I forget. But yeah, Jay something and Nick Cage.
And he does.
Jay's a nerd.
Yeah, with the Tesla coil, he plays the One Republic song. Do 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 do.
Yeah, I remember that. That's a great scene.
It's a great song.
And Nick Cage got long hair in this, kind of like it's Con Air again. He's got long hair, and he's wearing this fedora.
Yes, he is wearing this fedora. Yeah. Absolutely, yes.
The Indiana Jones fedora. But
Nick Cage.
Yeah, that is also our childhood right there. A lot of people grew up on other Nick Cage movies like Face Off and Con Air and stuff like that. But we didn't grow up on that, okay? We were a different generation. We grew up on the level of Nick Cage where he needed to start making money.
Wow.
Now let's talk about this part of Nick Cage. Nick Cage was a huge actor in the 90s. Nick Cage made millions of dollars. He also made millions off of National Treasure, Book of Secrets, and the first one too, just National Treasure.
It's just National Treasure.
National Treasure, something like that. He makes a lot of he makes a lot of money on these movies, but Nick Cage is one to not hold on to his money. He likes to buy things. Now, Thomas, I don't know if you've ever heard, and I wrote them down. I don't know if you ever heard of the crazy things that Nick Cage bought.
I have not.
More like, important things.
I'm dressed this way because I figured
I have a
pay
book.
Homage. You have a book
of Nick
Secrets.
Cage things that he has bought.
Okay.
Let's start with one thing that he bought. That was actually two things. He bought 2 islands.
Wow.
In the Bahamas.
Wow.
Okay. Now I wish I had that kind of money because
that'd be nice. Bahama money? That's pretty good money.
He was able to do that. A few castles, one in Germany.
Wow.
2 yachts.
Okay, but I'll be very real with all of you. Castles sound impressive.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
But when you live in Europe, they're like there's a castle down the street every street. So
well, how about this one? This one's
okay.
Impressive. He bought the American Horror Story Coven House in New Orleans.
How about that?
Yeah, so
I think
used to have
told us that. Oh,
he used to have it. He doesn't have it anymore. You want to know something else that he bought in New Orleans?
What?
That I learned?
What?
He has over there waiting for him.
Oh gosh.
A pyramid tomb. So when Nick Cage passes on, which will be a terrible, devastating
That will be
day,
a horrible day.
A terrible day for
horrible
society, a terrible day for just history in general.
Yeah, for history.
But he will have a phenomenal pyramid tomb in New Orleans that he will be buried in and put in. Which is really awesome to know.
That's pretty impressive.
He also owned 2 albino king cobras, an octopus,
Okay.
a $276,000 dinosaur skull.
I think I remember the skull.
That is cool.
I think I remember. It's like a T-Rex skull, isn't it?
I don't remember actually.
But it's like an authentic skull.
But he used to. And then this one's really cool.
Shit.
Yeah, well, I'll explain. And then he owned the first ever Superman comic book.
Oh,
Action
shit.
Comics #1.
Wow.
He owned that.
He owned that.
He owned that shit. All right. But of course, as many good things
Must come to an end.
It was a little too much, a little too expensive for Nick Cage. He bought a lot of other things too. But
Did he buy any?
we're not gonna. I don't know. Maybe he did. I didn't look that up. I didn't see if he did. I don't want to know.
Did he have a jar?
He also had
Call back to Amber Heard, Johnny Depp trial.
He also had a lot of shrunken heads too in his house, I guess. So
that's even worse.
that is a bit odd to have shrunken heads,
That's
but
like a decomposing body.
But the thing is, it seems that Nick Cage was a huge fan of the horror aesthetic, the goth aesthetic per se, by owning spooky things out in New Orleans, shrunken heads, dinosaur skulls, all that kind of stuff. But of course, those are not cheap. It's millions of dollars, and Nick Cage really liked to spend money.
So are you saying the Repo Man came from Nick Cage?
The Repo Man sadly did come for Nick Cage, and it's kind of interesting because they touched on that in one of the movies we'll talk about. But yes, the Repo Man came. He had to sell a lot of his places, sell the yachts, sell the octopus, albino cobras. He actually auctioned off the comic book for $2.6 million, so it was the highest comic book sold ever.
Oh, wow.
And so, yeah, he had to get rid of it. But as we learned in his most recent movie, what was the saying? Oh, we need
to come back, but we didn't go anywhere.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. He didn't go anywhere.
Yeah, he didn't go anywhere.
Nick Cage did not go anywhere. Nick Cage continued making movies, and he is still making movies today.
Damn right he is.
And one of those that I watched, Thomas has not watched yet,
Oh.
is Pig.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
Now,
He
Pig
was
is a
nominated.
really good movie. It's oh gosh, it wasn't an A24. It felt like an A24 movie.
I'll look it up.
Yeah, please look that up for me. It looked like it seemed like an A24 movie, but it wasn't. And it was very much an indie film where this man and his truffle
Neon. It was
a
distributed
Neon
by
movie.
Neon.
Okay, that's the same people who made the Robert Pattinson movie. Shit. Oh god, what's the first letter? Do you see it there? No. Shit, I forget what it's called. Oh, I don't remember. There's also Robert Pattinson movie. Oh, Good Times. Good Times. Ah! I haven't seen Good Times, but anyways. Where was I? Oh, yes. So it's about Nick Cage's character who, as you learn throughout the movie, used to be a chef. And he has a mushroom pig. Or
Truffle.
A truffle pig. So the pig finds truffles and basically selling the truffle to somebody. Pig gets stolen. He's got to find the pig.
Bastard.
It's a whole story. It's a very sad movie. I mean, I watched it with Missy, and sadly she couldn't be here to talk about it either. But this, you don't think it's going to be a sad movie.
How come?
It just didn't seem. I thought it was going to be a horror movie. When you look at the cover of the movie, it looks like in the posters, it looks like it's going to be a horror movie, and it's not. It's just it's a movie about a man who lost his way in life, sorta.
Okay.
And you learn why he lost his way in life and why he's a hermit crab and stuff like that.
I love that he's a hermit crab.
He's
Not
basic-
a hermit. He's a hermit.
No, hermit crab. Yes. Wow. And so he lives with this pig, and he loses his pig, so it turns into a full like Liam Neeson's Taken and all that kind of stuff.
Nice.
Great movie. It is on
Hulu.
So go watch it if you haven't seen it. It's a really good movie. But let's talk about movies that we have seen. Thomas,
Yeah, I'm kind of feeling left out here.
I'm sorry about that. I had to mention that movie because it was a good one. But another great. Oh gosh, you know what? Let's talk about the one we watched yesterday.
Yes.
We just watched. I don't even know how to explain the movie. An iconic movie, I think we can say.
I think an instant cult classic.
An instant cult classic that I hope we see somewhere at one of these theme parks one day as some kind of at one of the horror events.
That would be great.
Willy's Wonderland. Willy's Wonderland, ladies and gentlemen, is a movie that we walked in with no expectations, and that's the best way to watch it.
I think that's the best way to watch any Nick Cage movie is no expectations. Other than Nick Cage is going to bring it.
Yeah, other than Nick Cage will bring it in his role. Yes, he will make the movie good, and that's all that matters. Yeah. But yes, Willy's Wonderland. It is very much. It's not a student film, but it feels like a indie student film.
Wow.
It is a horror film that touches on the aspect of Five Nights at Freddy and Chuck E. Cheese.
Kind of does, yeah.
Yeah. And I know everybody wanted a Five Nights at Freddy movie,
Watch
but
this one.
Watch this one. This is what you need. This is all you need, and it's wonderful. Where should we start with this, Thomas?
I think we should start with the fact that we went into this movie. You already knew Nick Cage was going to have a bit of a problem. He's mute. He doesn't say anything in this movie. So I was worried because Nick Cage, his biggest thing is his line delivery.
Yeah.
Like my favorite scene in Kick-Ass when he's burning alive and he's screaming. Like his telling,
Kick-Ass.
He's in Kick-Ass, yeah, and it's a Hit Girl, I think that's her name.
Yes,
played by Chloe Grace Moretz.
Yeah.
He's like, as he's burning alive, telling her, "Watch out, he's on the other side." Like he's going crazy, loud, and it's just Nick Cage being Nick Cage. So I was really worried about that. He wasn't going to have any lines to deliver.
This man can be a mime. And he will be the greatest mime ever.
Absolutely.
Because I only knew about that because Nights of Horror Zaragoza told us that he was mute.
Really?
And I was like, no way. He must have like some lines or something like that. No, he's mute. He's silent. I mean, he has some screams and stuff like that.
Exactly. He has the screams. Screams hold me over.
The screams will hold us over.
Seeing,
They were really good.
Hearing a good Nick Cage scream.
Yeah, exactly.
Makes it worth it.
Yeah, it's totally worth it when that's like that. But there's no explanation of why he's mute.
You don't need it. It's Nick Cage.
Okay, you're right.
You don't need it.
You don't need it. You don't need it explained. Right. You're right. So
Let's talk a little bit about the movie itself, right?
yeah, let's get this like small little synopsis for you guys, so without spoiling it completely.
Right.
Again, this is another movie you can go watch on Hulu. Looks like Hulu really likes the Nick Cage movies. Oh, can I talk about? I mean, this is kind of off topic. But it was on HBO Max. And I don't remember what, maybe it was Hulu. But
unprepared.
Before Nick Cage's most recent movie came out, they had this Nick Cage of emotion.
Oh, wasn't that on Peacock?
It was on Peacock. Yes.
Peacock.
Why was it on Peacock? I don't even know why. What were we watching? But it was so beautifully done. At the bottom, it showed romance, horror, comedy, all that, and it all showed the same picture of Nick Cage right next to
with some
each
clip art
format
behind
picture.
it.
I will, if I can, I will put it right here. If I still have the picture, I think I still do. I'll put it right there. Oh, it was beautifully done. Okay, back to it. But so this movie, let's get the synopsis going. So it starts off by a car driving in. We see this car.
Wow, we're doing a whole thing. Okay, yeah.
No. Well, we see a car driving in, and it's Nick Cage's character. Boom! His tires explode.
Yes.
And he's like, "Fuck!" He doesn't say anything.
He doesn't say anything.
He takes his glasses off.
He takes off his glasses, goes in the trunk, grabs himself a punch
luscious
cola.
beard too. Can we talk about a luscious beard?
I'm
Very
so
luscious
jealous.
beard.
I could never.
Yeah, I could never either.
could never.
And he grabs not a beer.
I said punch cola.
Oh yes, a punch cola.
You always think it's beer.
Yeah,
Punch cola.
He grabs a punch cola. And I want to try one of those now because he just goes through so many of them in the movie. So he gets picked up by a tow truck. Tow truck guy's like, I can fix it. It's gonna cost this much money. I only take cash. He's like, shit, I don't have cash, but he doesn't say it. He's just staring at him like.
And he looks at the ATM, and the ATM's broken. Then looks back like that.
I can't do the face as well he does. So then he's like, okay, well, you know what? I have this job that you can do that will pay off your debt. And that is cleaning up Willy's Wonderland, because Willy's Wonderland has been closed for a long time. And so he cleans up Willy's Wonderland. And of course, the animatronics come to life.
Of course they do.
And one man needs to take care of them.
So one man we would trust to do
Nick
it.
fucking Cage.
Well, that's a different movie, but yes.
But he is also known as the custodian.
The janitor.
Oh, shit. The janitor in this. And, man, I mean, it is such a wonderful movie. What I loved about this was the animatronics, how there were scenes that they had CG, but they went the route of mainly bringing practical effects. That was so cool to see. I haven't seen a movie with practical effects. Well, I mean, I guess we have, but it's mainly more CG now than practical effects. And there's something about practical effects that's just amazing. And it was really awesome to see like these stuntmen and stuntwomen doing moves around in animatronic costumes while getting torn apart by Nick Cage. And it was graphic. Did you know this movie is still not rated? It's still NR. I was looking up earlier. It's still not rated. So
it should be NC for Nicolas Cage.
NC Nick Cage. Yeah.
That is the best. Because even the critics are like, what the fuck do we do with this movie?
Sure.
My favorite thing about this movie is how unfazed Nick Cage
is. My God.
He goes the entire movie unfazed.
Well, that only begs to, I mean,
just constantly, it's like, we don't know.
That means he must have known.
Did he
knows the past of.
Did he go to that town to destroy the animatronics of Willy's Wonderland?
Yeah, and he was acting like that's not why he was there.
I don't know.
But he must have.
The beauty of Nick
he
Cage.
Must have heard the stories or something, because the first one comes up on him. It's an ostrich.
Yeah.
And he goes, no freak out or anything. Just starts beating the shit out of it and ripping it apart.
He breaks off the stick part of the of the mop and
boom, 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 hitting it like a fucking pinata. So it was awesome. It was for sure awesome. Yeah, all of the deaths in this movie. What was your favorite death?
oh shit, my.
Let's start with animatronic first.
Okay, favorite animatronic death.
Yeah.
I think it would have to go. Oh man. I liked with the alligator where he ripped the alligator's jaw apart. That was pretty good. I thought the attempt. It's kind of like spoilers. Damn. How in depth did we go into this? I think
the string.
well, exactly. But
the strangling aspect of one of the on one of the animatronics. That's a good one. Yeah,
that was a good one.
No, my favorite is the gorilla curb stomp.
Oh my god, that was amazing.
That was awesome. He completely destroys a bathroom.
Gorilla urinal curb
stomping a gorilla animatronic, and that was so awesome. Okay, what about human death?
Favorite human death?
Yeah, because the animatronics, they're killing people too.
They were absolutely killing people. Probably the first one with the knight and stabbed.
Oh, through the gut.
Yep.
That's a good one.
That was a good one.
I did like that one.
They were like, "Oh shit, this is actually happening."
Yeah. Oh man, what was mine?
I thought.
You know what? Mine was the last one. The explosion.
The explosion of a kid?
No, of the.
Oh, yep.
The owner and stuff
that was
like
good.
that.
That was good.
The explosion was my favorite because
yep.
it set it up for Willy Wonderland 2.
There we go. There we go. Yeah, I also liked the flashback of like just seeing how they would eat people. That was pretty like gnarly as well.
Oh yeah. I mean,
chunks out of their necks.
The idea for this movie was actually I could have seen Blumhouse doing this movie.
Oh, absolutely.
Blumhouse doing this movie.
This was probably done on even less of a budget than Blumhouse.
Oh my gosh, I should have looked. I think it. You know what? I'm gonna look at it right now. We have to know. We have to know how much it cost because I feel like they made their money.
Oh, absolutely.
And it was a job for Nick Cage that
they had fun with.
But it was like $5 million was its budget.
That's all right.
And let's see how much it made. Grossing box office.
Yeah. What's the box office?
Oof.
Did it make $1 million?
$445,000. But it was an awesome movie.
It was a great. That's why it's gonna be a cult classic.
Well, I mean,
it's a box office fail.
Here's the thing.
What's its rating?
Because it wasn't. It was barely shown. Box office is based off of watching it in theaters, right?
Yep.
It was barely shown in theaters.
Yeah.
It was more like straight to streaming. Yeah. And I don't know how they count that stuff.
They don't. They don't. With those numbers, they don't count them.
Yeah. So this is only in what should I call it? In the theaters, and we don't really know how much, how many theaters were actually showing. I couldn't even remember when the Regal near us was like showing it, if it ever did.
I don't think it ever did.
Let's see. You want to see how much Nick Cage made from it?
I mean, I guess. I think he did it for free, pro bono.
Wait, no, it doesn't show. It just shows that he probably got paid $1 million. I would have thought it,
possibly,
or something like that. But anyways. I feel like that movie deserves a lot more money.
I think it deserves more attention. If you have not seen Willy's Wonderland,
go watch it. It's a fascinating movie.
It's hilarious.
I would love to see this as a maze.
I think there's a lot,
a house or anything like that. There's so much there.
That's why we got to call it houses.
There's
now.
I
would love that.
I think the closest thing that we can talk about is Killer Clowns from Outer Space.
We've seen the costumes.
We've seen how a cult classic could get it. I think this movie is just gonna need some time for it to just soak more fans. Kind of like how Killer Clowns did. Oh yeah, there was the infamous song. Thomas is currently singing the Willy's Wonderland Happy Birthday song.
Yep.
And then there's that one Willy's Wonderland song. It's like a 80s song. Oh, can we talk about the montage?
Oh, the montage.
The montage. There's this whole part in the movie that I love that they talk about it at the beginning where the owner of Willy's Wonderland tells Nick Cage that he always needs to take a break. He always needs to take
just to make sure to take a break.
Yeah, take a break.
Take a break. Tired.
Yeah. And so he sets it up like not lunch breaks, but 15-minute breaks. And every time his watch goes off, he stops whatever he's doing.
It is again,
and he
being
follows
unfazed,
it.
being unfazed.
So he'll be beating the shit out of an animatronic. Alarm's going. He's out of there. And guess where he goes? To a freaking pinball machine that I want so bad now. That was such a cool pinball machine. It was a Willy's Wonderland pinball machine.
I bet.
I
bet someone's made it.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of companies that make like the graphics,
Yep.
and you can put them inside your pinball machines.
I bet
that would be cool. But I want that pinball machine. I want the freaking Willy's Wonderland song in that pinball machine. You know what? I haven't even checked it on Spotify if that song's on there.
Did you ever expect when the camera was like behind him, so like the camera would be facing him
right
as he's playing the game, and then it would cut to like inside the pinball machine, the ball going, getting all these points. Did you ever expect that it would cut back to him and one of the animatronics would be right behind him?
That's a good question.
Every single time
they could have set it up to be like that.
I expected that every single time, and it never happened, which was also like, oh, I like that.
Yeah,
I like that decision. I like that decision.
Yeah, no. So guys, Willy's Wonderland, you need to watch it.
You really need to watch
it. A great movie. If you have Hulu, go ahead and watch it.
What are you waiting for?
What are you waiting for? This is a great movie, and I think we could see this as potentially taking over one of the theme parks' haunt events. And I won't mind it. I will be.
I would.
I mean, we're saying one of the theme park haunt events. Okay, let's just be honest. Universal. Studios,
what are you doing?
For sure.
Universal. You already love Nick Cage with the peacock. Come on.
And also in this movie is Grant Kramer, who was in Killer Clowns for Outer Space.
There's your connection.
He has a very small part in it, but it's an important part.
It is very important.
So, phenomenal movie. What would you rate it?
I would absolutely give it 9 cages out of 10.
Yeah, 9 cages out of 10. I agree. So yes, but sadly we have not watched Mandy yet. We need to watch Mandy. We were gonna watch Mandy.
So Mandy came out before this.
Yes, Mandy did come out before. Nick Cage has been on a horror kick right now, and that's really awesome.
A horror indie kick, and that's the best.
Indie. But let's move on now to another great movie.
Yes, let's.
His most recent movie.
Yes.
Let's talk about The Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent.
There we go. You got it.
Now, before this movie came out, I had no clue it was gonna happen. It wasn't until we went to see I think it's when I went to see Spider-Man.
Really? Wow.
Is when I saw the trailer. And when I saw this trailer, I was like, there is no way that they're actually just making a movie about Nick Cage. Now, it's not a documentary.
No.
Which I can't wait when they make a documentary about Nick Cage, which will happen one day.
Not the Bees, a Nick Cage documentary.
There you go. But I saw the trailer in the theater. I was like, I have to see it. And ladies and gentlemen, I saw it the day after it came. No. Wait,
the night it came out, didn't you?
The night it came out.
Yep.
I saw it the night it came out with Miss.
You were wearing this shirt.
I got this shirt for that night. And ladies and gentlemen, if you walk into this movie with no expectations,
as you should
for basically every kind of movie,
every kind of movie, especially a Nick Cage movie,
this movie was phenomenal. It was hilarious. Such a funny movie. I didn't know what I was getting into, but man, was I cracking up. Thomas, I know we just recently saw it, as of last weekend.
Yep.
What did you think?
So I've seen a couple of movies this year. I've seen Uncharted.
Yeah.
I've seen Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness.
Yeah.
I've seen Everything Everywhere All at Once.
Right.
The Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent is probably the greatest movie of this year. It just is.
Oh my god, it was such a funny movie. My goodness.
I learned about this movie at the Cannes Film Festival last year.
Okay.
Because people said that this movie was like premiering, where it was Pedro Pascal playing Javi, who was going to be this drug lord, and Nick Cage playing himself. And I was like, oh, that sounds like a Nick Cage movie. There's nothing else to say. And that was about it. I saw one like snippet of a trailer, which came with Nikki, the character Nikki.
Yeah.
Well, we can talk about Nikki later. And I was like, all right, I'm totally on board for this. So I told you while I was still back in Connecticut when I was studying that I want to see this movie with you, and you're like, all right, we can watch. I'll have no problem rewatching this movie.
Right.
My gosh. That movie was well worth the wait because I was
awesome.
smiling and laughing the entire time.
Oh, it was hilarious. I mean, to be honest, I haven't seen a recent comedy movie that made me crack up as much as this movie did.
Absolutely.
I'm just thinking about one of the scenes right now, and I'm not going to spoil it. Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, the movie has been out now for quite some time.
Yeah, what's your rule? What's your rule on like how long a movie has to be in theater before you can talk about it openly?
When there is only one showing left and it's like close.
It's like in the middle of the day.
Middle of the day at night. That is when it's fair to talk about movies now.
All right, fair.
Like
fair.
Right now, breaking down the entire multiverse of madness. Still not fair.
That's not fair. That's not
fair yet.
I think everything everywhere all at once is also not fair because it's still there's multiple shows.
Okay, yeah. So that's it. But
this movie,
it's coming. It's dwindling down of its showings. Mm-hmm. So I think it's fair to talk about it.
All right.
This movie, it has probably one of the greatest comedy duos I have seen in a long time.
Yeah.
And these two actors are not known for being comedians.
Wow.
If you think about it, Pedro Pascal and Nick. So this says a lot about the writing team.
Wow,
That's a strong writing team for sure, and strong actors. Oh, dang, Thomas.
Because now I'm like, have I seen Pedro Pascal in a comedy?
I haven't.
My first movie that I feel like I remember vividly Pedro Pascal was Knives Out. Not Knives Out, sorry. Kingsman Golden Circle. So the second
he's a cowboy.
Kingsman. He's a cowboy. He's whiskey. He's Agent Whiskey.
So he's a little
manners maketh mad.
Yeah, so he's a little comedic in there.
But he's also very much a dramatic role in that movie. I know he was in the We Can Be Heroes, which was like the Shark Boy Lava Girl sequel.
He's in it. Yeah.
Yeah.
But you remember when we watched? They all like not die, but they all get captured. So
they do.
Kids.
Yeah, he's barely
he's barely in it.
I also saw him in
1984.
Life is Good.
Yeah.
It can be better.
Where we were worried that like, oh God, Pedro Pascal is not going to be
a good villain, yeah.
Villain,
and he was
like acting wise, like we were like, ooh, because we already heard like all those things about Pedro Pascal in Mandalorian with the fight between the director and Pedro because he wanted to show his face. You remember that whole thing?
No, I don't.
Oh, you don't remember that? There was this
he fought Jon Favreau?
No, he didn't fight him. They had an argument.
He beat up Jon Favreau?
So before season 2 came around, there was a contract problem because Pedro Pascal really wanted to show his face.
Obviously.
And because in all of season 1, you never see his face. You don't see his face until season 2. And that was part of the contract. He was like, I need my face to be
this is the way
in the shot. Because Mandalorians don't take off their helmets and stuff like that. I mean, some of the, depending on the stricter religion or culture that the Mandalorian is part of.
Have you ever had your helmet removed? Have you ever removed it?
So I forget what that creed's called.
This is the way.
But I forget what that creed's called. But like, yeah, there's other creeds. Anyways, so he was like, I want it off or else I'm not going to be signing the contract and stuff like that. So they probably went back and forth for a while. And, well, we saw Mando's head, Pedro Pascal. And I think, as much of we heard about that, and there's probably so many TV shows, so many movies that there's those kind of arguments between actors and the directors and stuff like that. I think that was a good move on Pedro Pascal's part. Okay, this isn't about Pedro Pascal, but we're just talking about the points.
I have to throw in something because you talked about his head. Yes. The first time I ever saw Pedro Pascal was in Game of Thrones. So it was during a trial by combat where he represents Oh my gosh, I am blanking. Tyrion Lannister in
Oh.
Trial by Combat.
Oh, interesting.
And
Does his head
so,
cut off?
like, because of Trial by Combat, so he has to, and he fights the mountain, and he's winning, and he's like flipping his like bow around, he's like slicing up the mountain, and he gets a little cocky, and then the mountain, like lying on the floor, swings him up, is like, I remember your wife and daughter, and I killed them just like this, and he squishes Pedro Pascal's head in.
Ah!
So yes, that's the first time I ever saw Pedro Pascal.
Gross.
Yeah.
I don't like that.
No. Yeah, it was pretty graphic.
But yeah, so
Anyway.
comedy with these
None of that
two-
was comedy. Yes,
Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah, so and then Nick Cage, of course, he always has his moments of comedy relief in his movies, but he's never been in a role where it's just straight. I mean, okay, yeah, he probably has.
I mean, in Kick-Ass, he literally shoots his daughter, like to train her to take a
That's true,
bullet.
That's true. Yeah. So he's got a little comedy aspect on his side. But these two, they're not known for comedy.
No, they're not. They're dramatic artists.
I mean, this was awesome. This was so
good.
funny
This was so
between
good.
these two. They work so well together.
They really do.
I didn't think I wanted that duo, but I want that duo
Yes.
more.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
I should probably look back on YouTube to see when they were probably doing like press junkets.
I
and
wanna
stuff like
see,
that.
yeah, if they were doing
I
it
haven't
together.
watched any
Yeah.
press junkets to see if they did any for this movie. But man, those two were awesome in this movie. They were probably the best in the movie. I'm trying to think of the other. They were better than.
They were better than Tiffany Haddish, who was supposed to be like the.
But because
other
she was
comic
not
relief.
supposed to be a.
Oh, you think
she was
supposed to
barely.
Be, she was like the straight person.
Yeah,
For that? Yeah.
because they had two comics
Yeah.
as
Yeah. As
the
a straight
cops
people. Yep.
that
Yep.
are
Yep.
more
Yep.
straight. Yeah.
Yep.
To personality wise.
Yep.
So that was an interesting part on the
I
writing.
hated that part.
The writing team. I did not like
the,
them.
The,
two-
cops
the
did
cops
not do well for
No,
me.
I didn't like them either. It didn't work out. But I think what we need to talk about is one of my favorite scenes.
Let's talk about it.
The LSD scene.
My goodness, this
This is where I cracked it. This is where I almost pissed my pants in this part. I'm not even joking. So essentially, this whole movie, what ends up happening is Nick Cage and Pedro Pascal's characters are writing a script together, writing a movie together because Nick Cage ends up working with the CIA. Are they called the CIA?
yeah, the CIA.
Yeah, they are.
Yep.
Works with the CIA because they want him to be undercover to figure out where
the president's daughter.
where
has
the
been
president daughter of, oh my god, of Catalonia,
Yes.
of Catalonia, where Javi's keeping her hiding. Spoiler alert: Javi's a good guy, but
Spoilers.
anyways, so Javi comes up with this great idea of doing LSD so that they can open up their minds
Open their minds
to
write the script.
to write the script.
Yes.
And so they go into town on LSD,
Yep.
and they had a bad trip, and it's awesome. And it's so awesome. It's so funny. You guys, you need to watch it. It's so hilarious.
The culmination to the paranoia that they
Yeah.
have is
Yeah.
hilarious. It's really
It's fun. I can't.
It's really
you just-
good.
you got to watch it. It's my favorite
It's
scene in the movie.
really
it's probably
good.
a lot of favorite
It's
people's favorite scene in
Yeah.
this movie.
Yeah.
But there's just so many good things in this movie. There's a part where they're kind of they gnaw at at Nick Cage's money problems.
Yes.
Where he has his agent. Telling him, yo, you need money. You got to go to this birthday party because he's going to Javi's birthday party. He needs to make $1 million because he's
Yes.
struggling to
Yep.
find movies, and he needs to pay his debt back. He has a hotel room that he's paying for, or
Yep.
he's not paying for,
Yep.
and he's got to take care. He's dealing with a divorce, all that kind of stuff. So it's a mix of fiction and Nick Cage's life.
It
And,
really is.
and it's
It
really
is.
well done too. It's crazy. So yeah, it's a great movie. I freaking love it. I hope that it comes out soon so I can get this. I hope it comes in steelbook.
You're gonna get a steel book of this.
Of course
Oh my
I'm gonna get a
goodness.
steel
Oh my
book of this.
goodness. Oh my goodness.
I love it. I
Oh my
love that
goodness.
movie. It's one of my favorite comedy movies now for sure.
It is the best comedy film of this year.
Yeah.
That's
What
for sure.
would you rate it? What would you rate it?
You know, because there are some moments to me that just kind of like it bothers me.
Oh, what bothered you?
Well, like the every scene with the police were just
Yeah.
I did not enjoy.
Yeah.
I have to give it 8 cages.
Yeah.
8
I think
cages.
8 cages is right. 8 cages out of 10. That is a good.
I would rather watch Willy's Wonderland again than watch.
Really? What?
Just
you would watch this movie.
Oh,
again,
absolutely. Though. Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. No,
Absolutely.
I really enjoyed this movie. 8 cages out of 10 is a good rating.
8 cages.
I really hope that we somehow see Nick Cage and Pedro Pascal work together again somewhere.
I would love to see both of them
I would
as a
love it.
comedy duo in a horror movie.
Wait, let's see how much that made. You know, it.
Massive Talent?
Yeah.
Yeah, just
I have it
pull it
right
up,
here. Let's
pull it
see. The box office first. Let's see.
Let's see it.
Box office, $27.9 million.
$27.9 million.
And let's see how
good for
much.
them. How was their?
Oh, budget of $30 million.
Okay, so
They'll still make it. They'll
They'll
still
make
some
it-
more
they'll make
money.
even. They'll
probably
even.
make even. But I wonder where it's ranked best right now, highest right now.
It's number 1. It's the highest ranked film of all time.
I think it's.
It broke 100.
I don't see where it doesn't say. Oh, so it came out. So it wasn't the Cannes Film Festival. It was South by Southwest.
Ah, shit, you're right.
Lionsgate distributed this movie,
Right.
stuff like that. Anyways, but yes, go watch the movie. Get it to 30 million. Get it over 30 million. Just the thing is like these Nick Cage movies, they deserve so much more. They
really
deserve
do.
so much more in the box office and stuff like that. But now let's talk about the future of Nick
Oh
Cage
shit. Okay.
and how he's basically going to be saving
Horror.
There has been recent leaks.
How's there now? Oh, I know what you're talking about now. I know where we're going with this.
Where we saw pictures of Nick Cage as a certain character. And that is Nick Cage as Dracula. In what I believe to be just the movie Dracula. Or
No, it's a Renfield.
it's called Renfield?
It's Renfield because there's a story of Renfield, who is Dracula's, like, minion.
So it's going to be... I'm guessing it would follow more Renfield.
Yes,
than-
yes.
Is this a Universal movie? I don't know.
I don't
Let's
think
see.
so.
Let's see what Renfield is. I would think Renfield. Let's see. I hope it's Universal.
It would make sense, but also not. All I know is that Nick Cage's outfit in the leaked images from the set is probably the most realistic Dracula rendition.
Distributed by Universal
Oh, there we go. Universal Pictures.
Pictures. You want to know who's going to be in it?
I mean, maybe.
So we got Nick Cage as Dracula.
Already sold.
Nicholas Hoult. Do you remember him?
Sounds familiar.
He oh my god, I'm trying to here, I'll click on his picture.
Let me see his fat
He
face.
played he played the guy from freaking Warm Bodies.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
And he's going to be Redfield?
Yeah, he's Renfield.
Of course.
He's also in Mad Max, I guess. I don't know. Oh, he played Tolkien in the 2019 movie Tolkien. Never saw that. Didn't know that was
No, I didn't know.
Aquafina playing Rebecca Quincy. Don't know who that is. Bess Roos, don't know who she is. Ben Schwartz, he's playing Teddy Lobo.
Ebony Schwartz.
Yeah, but do you know who Ben Schwartz is?
You know I'm horrible with names.
He's
I know-
Parks and Rec.
Yes, yes. I would.
He's what's his name's best friend? Aziz Ansari's best friend.
Oh, he's
And then his sister.
Ralph Macchio.
Ralph Macchio. There we go. Yeah.
John Ralph Macchio.
So they have a cast already, and so
Wait, Ralph Macchio is Cobra Kai. That's
what's his name?
Daniel
Something Macchio.
John Ralphio.
John
Ralphio.
John Ralphio. This
There
is
you go.
okay.
Yeah, Ralph Macchio
But yeah,
is
so
the
there is a
actor.
cast right now too with it. And so the picture that came out, and I'll put it right there too. You know, you see Nick Cage in all red. He's pale.
He looks
looking at his
so
nails
good.
for some reason. I don't know.
Because
But he looks like Dracula.
getting ready in the role of
And I
Dracula.
wonder, you know, we've seen different parts of Nick Cage now. We've seen him as a mute. We've seen him as a
as himself.
comedic, comedy relief.
as himself.
I've seen him in Pig as a depressed man.
You've also seen him as
I've seen
treasure
him
hunter.
as a treasure
We've
hunter.
seen him as a sorcerer.
We've seen him as a sorcerer. Are we going to get a mix of all this as Dracula?
I think that I think his version of Dracula will be the most authentic to Bram Stoker.
Wow.
Like I think Bram
Well,
Stoker,
so
Bram
that's
Stoker is the original author, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Or do you think he's going to go more like a Bela Lugosi route?
Yeah, Bram Stoker's because I always think of Bram Stoker's Dracula, which had Gary Oldman.
Right.
This movie would be way better than that, of course.
But my question is because, you know, we see in Nick Cage's movie the massive
Talent.
No, the massive weight of unbearable talent. That's the name of it.
You switched it. It's unbearable weight of massive talent. It's the unbearable weight of massive talent.
Is it unbearable? Yeah, the unbearable weight of massive talent. Sorry. We see in this movie that Nick Cage is like this could be factual. I don't know for sure. I didn't look it up yet. That he's a big fan of like old movies.
He
like
is.
He
Yes.
loves this old movie and he wants his daughter to love it too, and
Absolutely.
she could care less.
Yes.
What if he decided to go more of a Bela Lugosi route?
Well, Bela Lugosi. Well, what I mean is that he will be more authentic to the original story of Dracula. Bram Stoker, the author's original version of that. He will be even more authentic.
I thought you were gonna say like he was gonna be like Gary Oldman.
No. He will be more authentic to the story, the original novel, than Bela Lugosi ever was. Oh yes.
That's big.
Oh yes.
That is big.
Nick Cage will be the greatest Dracula there has ever been. Luke Evans, get out of here. Gary Oldman, bye-bye. Bela Lugosi, see ya.
Whoa.
Nick Cage is the Dracula.
Well, that is a big statement there, Thomas.
That's how much I believe in Cage.
My thing is, I mean, there's so many Draculas out there, just like how there's so many Jokers out there, and how I see Joaquin Phoenix as one of the best Jokers up there as probably my number 2. No, yeah, my number 2 now.
Who's your number 1?
My number 1 is Jack Nicholson.
Oh,
Third now, Heath Ledger.
No. Nope, not gonna talk about that.
It's all about Nick Cage.
It is a Nick Cage special.
But Dracula now, I mean, we've got so many Draculas now. And, I got to watch the other Dracula movies. I've only seen the 1931 Dracula. But, okay, let's talk about that. This is a Universal picture.
It is a Universal picture.
Is this how we save Epic Universe?
First of all, it's Dark Universe. Epic Universe. Epic Universe is the theme park that's opening up on the East Coast.
Have a
Universal Monster section. All right.
But will this save the Dark Universe?
I think you need to let go.
No, I don't want to let go.
Dark Universe will never happen.
But what if it was saved by Nick Cage and Renfield and
Johnny
all
Depp was supposed to be the Invisible Man, and they decided to make Elizabeth Moss the Invisible Man. So you know what? Dark Universe is done.
But that was
Tom Cruise was supposed to be the Mummy.
But
Okay.
Could we actually consider?
Okay.
Was Invisible Man actually part of that movie? I don't think was part of the Dark Universe.
That's what I'm saying, because they've already decided to go away from the Dark Universe.
Okay, but they're like going back to the OG stuff with Renfield.
I mean, it's the same as like, would you say Cruella is going back to 101 Dalmatians?
No, I see Cruella as this formation of this
a deformation,
like
deformation,
a villain series, future,
like a tumor,
or like for like. I mean, this is off topic, but like Kingdom Keepers, when they bring the villains to life, they're gonna have the villains come to life.
Don't you ever compare Cruella to Kingdom Keepers.
That's a book. No.
Kingdom Keepers was amazing.
No.
Cruella was
stop.
Awful.
What I'm saying,
I'm
saying is that they're bringing these villains, live action film of villains on Disney, because I think when this Kingdom Keepers show that they make, they'll have these live action characters to go to.
I see.
Yeah, that's my thing. But it's not about that. It's about the Dark Universe.
It's about
I
Cage.
disagree with you. I think we could see the Dark Universe come back.
You know, I
this.
will agree with you that if there is any man to save the Dark Universe, it is Nick Cage. It is.
But again,
It
this
is.
is another thing where we could be seeing another Nick Cage property coming to Universal Studios Halloween Horror Nights.
Why not?
Why not? With a Renfield movie, it's Universal Pictures. They got the rights to it. Why not? And Willy's Wonderland. Let's just have a Nick Cage year.
When was the last year that a maze coincided with the release of a movie?
Us. Nope. That was a lie.
Well, Us did come out in 2019, so you're right.
Okay. Then there was that. Because Stranger Things.
Stranger Things already. So Stranger Things season 1 had already come out when Stranger Things season 2 had already been released.
Yeah. So, I think that's the most recent one. That's 2019 right there.
Because I think Ash versus Evil Dead, which was 2018.
You just answered. That was the most recent one. 2019. Because then in
Us, yeah.
21, there was no.
It was all redo.
Yeah, the only thing they were showing was the Chucky show, and there was not even Chucky freaking on the train. It's not about that, Thomas. It's about
I'm just
Nick Cage.
saying.
It's not fair to Nick Cage to talk about things other than Nick Cage.
That maybe they break that streak and they go back to that tradition
with
a house representing Renfield when Renfield comes out.
I don't even know when that's going to come out. Those are the only things we saw were those pictures. Exactly. I can look up let's see when it's coming out, because a lot of looking up today. There's a Mr. E job here.
There's a lot of Mr. E having mysteries because he didn't do his research.
April 14th, 2023.
All right.
As of now. Chris McKay's the director, who has directed the Lego Movie 2, which is coming out.
Shit.
And
the
Batman
gonna
movie.
Get stuck inside your. The song's gonna get stuck
Lego
inside
Batman
your,
movie.
The song's gonna get stuck inside.
The Tomorrow War. Haven't seen that. Robot Chicken.
You don't need to see Tomorrow War.
Oh my God, Robot Chicken, the Star Wars special. He did this.
Okay, I trust this guy with my life.
This guy's done a lot of animation.
I trust this guy with my life.
I mean, he's had some movies that are wonderful. Lego Movie, the Batman Lego Movie.
The song is catchy.
These were all good.
Catchy,
but yes,
really
ladies and gentlemen,
catchy.
that is our hero. He is going to save horror. Horror has been in this little, I guess you could say.
It's been a rut, folks.
It's been in a rut.
Horror's been unoriginal for quite some time, and we need a new face to bring back what horror's supposed to be. Originality. It's supposed to be a statement. Every horror film used to have meaning, and it was political, and it told your story. It spoke for your soul,
Heart.
And the only person who can bring that all back is Nick fucking Cage.
Jesus. I'm sorry, ladies and gentlemen, for your ears on that one. Oh my God. But yes, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to stop it there. There's our discussion on Nick Cage. I hope you guys agree that Nick Cage is just awesome. I hope you guys enjoyed this. We really enjoyed filming this. I mean,
It's a good special.
when more Nick Cage news comes out, we will talk about Nick Cage whenever we have the chance to talk about him. If you haven't seen any Nick Cage movies, what the hell are you doing with your life? He's released so many. If you haven't seen the movies that we've talked about, go check them out. They are awesome, not just for Nick Cage, but for the cast that is following him up in those movies too.
Exactly, he's the star.
He's
Never
the star always. But yes, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for listening, and thank you for watching. If you're new to the channel, subscribe. If you are new to our Spotify, if you're a new Spotify listener, welcome. Hit that follow button. Yes. We release podcasts whenever we can. Also, if you want to support the channel and the podcast, you can do that at buymeacoffee.com/TLEV Media. Thomas, take it away.
If you want to follow us on our social medias at TLEV Media, we make sure to cover on our podcast, Pick Your Brain podcast. We also have different avenues. We have different shows. We talk all things pop culture, so make sure that you follow us wherever you can. Thank you so much for listening, and make sure to check out on both our other channel, TLEV Media, and also our social media. Of course, I'm Thomas.
And I'm Mystery.
Thank you all so much for watching and for listening.
We'll see you guys on the next podcast. Or you guys will see us on the next podcast. I don't know. Nick fucking Cage.
Let us know in the comment section what other celebrities we should dedicate to.
Oh, if you guys want us to talk about other celebrities.
Which other
but
shows,
they have to
other
be,
topics to
they
be
have
dedicated
to be at the same level as
Nick
Nick
Cage.
Cage. They have
Yeah.
to. Yes, they have to. Okay.
Which is near impossible.
All right. Bye, guys.